on.
666 followers on Instagram as of today, too.
That's actually crazy.
666 Instagram followers, 6 beams in a row.
Are we in Toronto?
Are we? Where are we filming this?
Are we in Toronto right now?
Are you kidding me?
Oh, man.
Boys,
Man!
are you freaking kidding? You know what,
6 in a row!
you know what I kept saying to RT? The whole night. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Like, are you actually kidding me? I couldn't believe what we were watching, dude.
This whole winning streak. It's an are you kidding me?
So everyone has been saying, oh, but like look who the Kings have been playing. Everyone's been missing their guys. And then we go into the defending champs home. Who's on their IR?
Nobody.
No one.
Healthy team.
Healthy Celtics team. We walk in there without our star player. And we get the win by 17. 114-97.
Dude, I'm still speechless right now.
There's another 6. We've lost the Celtics last 6 times. How many 6s are we getting today?
Dude.
Yeah, that's so
How many
insane.
6 do we get? We should book a flight to Toronto.
You know how many toes RT has on his left foot? 6.
6, yeah. Abnormality. Yeah. But that's what makes it unique. That's what makes it unique. Who else has 6 toes?
No, for the record, I do have 5 toes like every
Yeah.
normal
800
human.
followers, 6 toe reveal. The 6 toe reveal at 800 followers.
Welcome back to the Kang Gang Pod. This is episode number 6. I'm just kidding.
66.
This is episode number 24. Wait, what's 2 plus 4?
6.
Hey.
You're milking it now. You're milking it.
Okay, fine. Anyways, 6 wins. Dude, RT and I were just talking about this. What an absolute turnaround this past 3 weeks has been. Where hair's down, rain, sad songs playing when Mike Brown gets fired. Doug Christie comes in and just he puts Sacramento on his back and said, "Follow me. I'll take you there." Are you kidding me? 6 in a row against the best team in the NBA.
Incredible. Yeah, it's crazy. Like before Christmas, how much we were struggling and the turmoil. And honestly, I didn't think, I'm optimistic. I think we all are, but I didn't think it would lead to a 6-game winning streak like it has. So
It's so crazy, man.
definitely happy.
So crazy.
We're back in it. I think a lot of Kings fans, we're losing hope there, especially once Mike Brown got fired. But winning cures all, and that was the message I gave to everybody. That was the message I gave to you guys and everyone, asking for my opinion on the coaching change. And winning has cured everything. And the coaching change is in the past now. We all miss Mike still, obviously, but winning fixes everything. It fixes everyone's morale, and the guys are having fun playing again. And you just love to see that.
Dude, all around game for the Sacramento Kings.
Even Keegan Murray smiled.
Keegan Murray
gave a little smirk today.
Darren Fox was on the bench. He was smiling. He was cheering on his guys, dude. It was like everyone was just having a good time out there tonight.
So much fun.
It was just a fun game. All the fans were losing their minds at home, I'm sure. Me and RT, and Jono, we thought about booking the trip to Boston this morning to go watch the game, but flights were not going to allow us to get there.
with the weather and all that stuff.
Yeah, they didn't want us there. But hey, we got to watch from home, and dude, 17-point victory. I have a crazy stat for you to start it off. Shouts out Deuce Mason for one showing us love on the Deuce and Mo podcast, but also for putting this stat onto Twitter. He said, "There's only been 2 teams that have held the Boston Celtics under 100 points. That is the Oklahoma City Thunder and the Sacramento Kings, baby.
Let's go.
Are you kidding me? That's insane.
Come on.
That is insane. So, obviously, Oklahoma City is the number 1 seed in the West. They have a great defense, and then there's the Sacramento Kings that were able to do it too. It was just one of those games where basically everything was going right for us. Boston was struggling from the 3 when we saw them earlier this season almost break NBA history with most 3s in a game. And then we hold them to, I think it was, they only had 11, which is, that's a great night for the Kings, 11, but that's a terrible night for them. They shot 41 threes, only made 11. There's so many things to talk about. Where do you guys even want to start? Should we just start from the beginning?
Let's just start from the beginning, man.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
RT, what did you see from the first half? First quarter.
I saw from the first quarter. It was just back and forth, and then we were like, "Oh no, this is going to be the Jaylen Brown show. Keon Ellis was just getting bullied by Jaylen Brown. I mean, Keon Ellis is 6'3", Jaylen Brown is 6'7". The dude is probably like the strongest guy in the NBA when it comes to like being like a slasher, because he's so. I think that's his most underrated part of his game, is just being to be able to be a slasher. And that's why he was a Finals MVP last year. He basically carried the Celtics to the championship that year. Truly, he was the best player, and I do believe that he is still the best player on this team. Jason Tatum is not that guy, just for my record. I basically have said that. This is my first time saying it, so yeah.
Hey, Deuce Tatum, if you're watching this, plug your ears.
Sorry, Deuce Tatum. Sorry, Deuce Tatum, but. I mean, it just looked like Jaylen Brown was going to go for 50, I thought. But then we matched the intensity. We matched that first quarter. We were able to jump out to a solid lead. I think we were up 7 at the end of the first quarter.
We were up 7, but we did have a 10-point lead at once.
We did have a 10-point lead. And so we shot the ball well. We just looked like everybody was shooting with confidence. We were being aggressive on steals and defense. And it was just one of those things, I think, that set the tone for the entire game. Usually the first quarter kind of like dictates how a game goes, and from that first quarter it was just like, okay, we're just going to set the tone. We're going to just beat Boston at their own game. Shot a lot of threes, made a lot of them, basically played contest defense, didn't allow them to really get themselves comfortable. And so I think that we just beat Boston at their own game, especially in that first quarter.
I love how you closed by saying beat them at their own game, because we made 8 threes in the first quarter. That's probably like around our season average in threes made per game, and we hit that in the first quarter, which is what Boston excels at, especially this year. They've been killing it from the 3-point line. So for us to do that was probably like a wake-up call to them. They're like, oh, shoot, they're going to try and outshoot us? Okay. Yeah, because speaking of 3-point attempts, they shot 41, we shot 47. So it was a battle of the three-pointers tonight. But Sabonis, he hit 2 threes in the first quarter. Keegan Murray hit 2 threes in the first quarter. People were just knocking them down. So for a guy like Keegan Murray, who's been struggling basically in the first 30 games of the season, in the past 3 games of this season, in the past 3 games, Keegan Murray has been shooting 54% from 3. So it's finally great to see Keegan Murray back in his element, shooting threes, shooting with confidence. Even with a guy right in front of him, he doesn't see him. He's shooting it, and it was great to see him shooting threes. He went 5 for 8. Yep. Yeah, 5 for 8. So 15 points going from behind the arc.
Yeah,
incredible.
And his defense has always been there, right? I think Mark Jones shouted him out to be a All Defensive Player of the Year candidate,
yep.
Rightfully so. But yeah, I mean, RT said it best. We hung in there. We easily could have folded, right? Boston looked comfortable early on with their offense. Jaylen Brown was cooking. KP was cooking. And we easily could have folded, but we hung in there. We still fought and gave us a chance at the end. And I was saying this, on the last pod, where we just need to keep games close. And we have 2 of the best closers. Obviously, Fox is hurt, but we have DeRozan there to finish the job. And I think we just we stood pat. We didn't let them go on a crazy run. We stayed within 10 pretty much all game, even when we were down. So. Yeah, they took what we told them to do, which was have that fight, have that grit, and we showed them. We showed them why.
Yeah, speaking of being down, second quarter is where things started to flip.
Yeah,
Boston went on a 16-3 run to start the second quarter. So, as good as we were shooting, it wasn't going to last a full game. I think Kings fans watching, the players on the court, they all knew that they're not going to be able to hit eight threes a quarter. That's very hard to do in the NBA. So. It turns out we only made 1 3 in the second quarter, and it was basically Jaylen Brown staying hot and Porzingis. They both had 13 points each in the first half. They were killing us. Porzingis seemed like he couldn't miss a 3. But what stood out to me, besides us not shooting the ball well, we found a way to just stay in the game, play excellent defense. Even Kevin Huerter, who was not a factor in this game offensively, he finished the game with 3 steals. When he came in, he gave us a little bit of a spark defensively. Keon, obviously. To end the first half, Domantas Sabonis had 15 rebounds.
Insane.
And a lot of them were offensive. Like the whole game, he was fighting. He was causing havoc for Porzingis down there. He got to his spots. He was scoring. He was rebounding. It was incredible to see. 15 in the first half.
And also, he also was shooting the ball really, really well in that first half. I think he made like 2 threes in that first half and just was shooting with so much confidence. And that's the element of what Domas can bring to a team, is that shooting ability can really like stretch the floor. We see it with Nikola Jokic, how he can stretch the floor with shooting. Joel Embiid, when he's healthy, he can do that same thing. Jaren Jackson. And so seeing Domas being able to take that next step and just being able to be that floor spacer with that shooting really opens up the offense so much more. And it just gives also Domas an abundance of confidence to be like, I can get to any spot and just be dominant on any given night.
Yeah, we didn't have that for the longest time with as Domas was a King, right? We knew he had the 3-point shot, but he wouldn't shoot it at this volume, and he finally looks comfortable doing it. And I think that's just going to help so much more when Fox gets. I don't think it's a coincidence that Fox is having the year he's having with Domas shooting like this. It just clears so much space for him to cut and succeed and isolate. And I think when Fox comes back, I think we're just going to keep it rolling. But as good as Domas is shooting right now with his rebounding, he's been the MVP of this winning streak for sure.
Easily. And I would say him and Malik Monk.
I mean, you could go down
there's so many MVP candidates.
Everyone's
Like everybody's stepping up.
But the reason why I want to bring up Malik Monk, because specifically in the 3 games that Fox has been out, Malik has been taking control of this team. And like when we were down in that second quarter, he brought us back. He had 14 points in the first half. There's been so many times where he's the one that is the playmaker out there. He is when he was a bench piece in the prior seasons, but now that he's like the guy when De'Aaron is out, he's just making everyone play better. But he had an excellent game again. Like it feels like this past 6 games he's just been playing unbelievable and not getting enough love. So just want to shout out Malik Monk.
His passing too. His playmaking looks amazing
every game.
There was a pass in the fourth quarter that he had with Domas cutting. It was a pick and roll, but it was a pass that we haven't seen him make too many times during his tenure with the Kings. And you could just see the coaching staff's face when he would go back to the bench. Luke Laux gave him a big hug, and he just looks like a completely different player.
All of them do.
He's having fun out there. Malik's having a lot of fun out there. There's been times, like in that 5-game losing streak, I remember he said last season, like when the Kings boo, it doesn't happen often, but when it does, it pisses him off. So to see him like going from angry at how the Kings are playing and how like it's obviously affecting the crowd, and then going into these past 6 games just looking like he's looking like an all-star right now. Malik is playing incredible.
Man, if we can get 4 all-stars, hey man, all I gotta say.
I just want to see the Sacramento host an all-star game and just put all of them out there. Dude, we gotta, dude.
Or a skills challenge. A skills challenge would be fun.
Yeah. Is there like a bid for the Kings to host it?
Normally
we gotta develop. We gotta
get more hotels.
The hotels, the housing situation in Sacramento, so that we could host it. But dude, RT brought up a great point. Imagine like a Kings team for the skills challenge. I'd be all about that.
That'd be sick. Great. I could see De'Aaron, Malik, and then Keegan doing it to it. Yeah.
That'd be fun. So ending the first half, it was 55-53. The Kings shot 30 3-pointers in the first half. Celtics shot 25. We made 9 for 30. They made 6 for 25. That was basically the storyline of the game. Is when you shoot 30 in the first half, I mean that means you're on pace for 60 3-point attempts, which people are hating, and they say that's the reason why the ratings are down in the NBA. But I think for Sacramento Kings fans, ratings are always up. So anyways, going into the third quarter, the Celtics go on a little bit of a run, and they lead 72-63 with 6 minutes and 51 seconds left in the third. So they were up 9 at that point. And you know how we counter RT? With a 7-0 run.
Let's go.
So we cut the lead to 2 instantly. And to end the third quarter, DeMar DeRozan, who just coming off of an incredible double overtime performance, he closes the quarter with another midi. I think it was over Porzingis to tie up the game going into the fourth. So the third quarter, kind of a blur for me. It went by really quick. They did go on that massive run. We countered. DeMar played great. It was just kind of like a replication of what we saw in the first half in that third quarter, but we brought the lead back 76-76. So, and we obviously know the end result. The Kings finish on a 38-23 run to close out the fourth quarter. Unbelievable. But you know what started that spark? He has the same initials as our head coach.
Devin MF and Carter, baby. That's my guy. My
AKA
guy.
Young Gucci.
Yes.
Young Gucci.
8 points out of the gate. 8 points out of the
8
gate.
points. Back-to-back threes.
Back-to-back threes. Just a nice little driving layup and just going at the teeth of the Celtics defense. And then he finished the game with 11 points. Oh,
Amazing.
man. I was just...
Friar Nation was in the building tonight, too.
Yeah,
they showed
his
up.
coach
Head
was
coach
watching,
showed
right?
up.
Ed Cooley.
Yeah.
Yep, shout out to... Oh, no, not Ed Cooley. Kim English.
English.
Ed Cooley was the former Providence coach, but now Kim English has taken over and has done a better job than Ed Cooley.
Yeah, this is by far Devin Carter's best game as a King. He just looks so comfortable. And they were saying on the broadcast, Jay Crowder has been such a solid vet to him, introduced him and Isaac Jones pregame to the referees. And I think that's just helping his mindset so much. And I take notice, when Devin Carter goes to the bench, he literally sits next to Jay Crowder the entire time. So to have a vet like that, even though he's not giving us minutes, I think that's the reason we kept him over Orlando Robinson, is to just mentor them. And Devin Carter is playing like a player beyond his years. He's playing so mature. Obviously, his dad played in the league, right? So he has a lot of mentors that can tell him how to be a professional, but his shot looks great. He's still making rookie mistakes, right? He's obviously going to, but he just looks so poised out there, and he's giving effort on defense. And I think he knows that if he gives effort, Coach Christie's going to play him, and that's what he's doing.
Speaking of Doug Christie and the Devin Carter situation, so Doug Christie said in the postgame interview that Keon spoke to Doug during like that little run right after that 8-point stretch that Devin Carter had, and he said, "Let the young fella run. I'm good."
Wow.
And then Doug Christie said, "I was on my way to go tell Keon Ellis the same thing." So and he was saying we're just on the same page, me and Keon, and seeing Devin Carter play like that was just incredible for his confidence. It was so cool that he
that's OKC Thunder energy. You know what I mean? That's the cohesiveness you need with your group. Selfless, and Doug Christie's one of the most selfless players ever, even during his tenure with the Kings. So that's the culture we need to build.
No, I think that was such an awesome moment, and I'm glad he shared it.
Heck yeah.
The fact that you brought up the Jay Crowder situation, I'm so glad. Keeping those type of guys, vets on our team. We've had so many incredible vets that have shifted the culture of our team. Going back with Iman Shumpert, even JaVale McGee, and during the Beam Team era,
Matthew Dellavedova,
tons of guys like that. They've just been
that's my guy.
Huge
That's
glue
my guy.
guys, and the fact that Devin Carter has Jay Crowder as his vet, dude. That's just going to set him up for success going forward. And we announced that we let go of Orlando Robinson and we kept Doug McDermott and Jay Crowder. So
I think it's the right move.
Definitely the right move, which now has Kings fans questioning now that we only have 2 centers on the team with Domantas Sabonis and Alex Len. People are starting to question what is Monty going to do? So that's definitely something to keep your eye out on. And another thing, Monty, what's his last name?
McNair.
Oh my gosh, I just said Monty and I blinked. Monty McNair. You guys were Monty McNair finally addresses the media. Talking, he did a one-on-one with Mark Jones talking about the firing of Mike Brown, and he said that he wishes Mike Brown the best, and he thanks Mike Brown so much for everything that he's done for the organization. And what did you guys get a chance to listen to Mike Brown?
I saw clips of it on the pregame. Yeah. I mean, he's not wrong, right? We all love Mike Brown. I think Monty, I think he has the mindset of things just needed to change. I was never in the camp of fire Monty. I mean, look at his draft picks. Look at the people he's drafted, put on this team. Devin Carter is a prime example of that. Monty knows how to run a basketball team. He knows how to draft talent. And I think we got to give him the benefit of the doubt here. A lot of people were giving him slander for the move, but I was always in the boat of things had to change. Whether it was trade a player, whether it was make a coaching move, and it ultimately Monty chose to make a coaching move, but something had to change. So I think we owe Monty a little bit of apology, not just us, but I think Kings fans in general, because that dude knows how to draft talent, man, and he has an eye for talent. That whole scouting team, right? It's not just him; it's Wes Wilcox, it's a lot of people, but. It was nice to see him address it finally. It's weird, that it took so long, but in the middle of the season. It's not the same as addressing it in the off season or something like that. So, but yeah, it's still sad. It hurts because we know Mike as a person, but winning cures all, and let's just keep it rolling. But it was nice to see him finally.
I'm so glad that he finally spoke, because as an organization, you owe that to the fan base, because like the fan base are the ones that are investing in this team, you know? So like you kind of have to have that conversation. I'm glad they finally did. That was very respectable by our organization, because if we didn't, I mean, it would just leave that so many questions unanswered. But he did talk about Doug Christie and what Doug Christie means to the organization, to the team. And like we've said, and like what you could probably guess, he's like, since he's a player and since he played for this team, that's why it means so much to him. So you hear that in the way Doug Christie talks, the way he motivates the players.
And Doug was saying this coaching move was the final chapter in his book with the Kings, right? He's done it. Obviously, he was a player here, and they didn't make it all the way, and he sees this as his final chapter, right? So I'm just glad he's the person to turn things around with us.
No, definitely. So another guy we need to shout out, Domantas Sabonis. 23 points. RT, can you even count to how many rebounds he had?
You gotta tell me, because I just lost track.
This is a reoccurring theme on the show.
It is.
Shouting out to Domantas Sabonis.
Dude, we have to, though.
No, I know, but it's just crazy. Like,
he's having his best season. He's having his best season, which is so crazy to say when he had so many incredible moments in a Kings uniform already. Even in like his Pacer days, he's just been he has an incredible resume. And the fact that he made Kings history with 28 rebounds, me and RT the whole game were rooting for the 30. We were wanting the 30 so bad, but we'll take the win instead. Yeah. But 28 rebounds, he gets his career high.
He broke his own record.
Yeah, so he had 26, and then he pushes it to 28. So I bet he wanted the 30, but I mean, a win means more to him. Which
a win is definitely that's incredible. I mean,
you know what's crazy about the 28 rebounds? 8 of them were offensive. I remember it was like 2-3 seasons ago. I was at RT's house and we were watching Kings versus Grizzlies when they had Steven Adams, and Steven Adams grabbed like 13 offensive rebounds from us, and it was humiliating. Yeah. So now we could finally be on the good side of that happening. Just watching him and Trey Lyles pulling down 8 offensive rebounds for Sabonis, and then 5 offensive rebounds for Trey Lyles, who also had double-digit rebounds in today's game. So.
Yeah, it wasn't that long ago that Marvin Bagley was our starting center. Like, let's remember that, guys. We're just a few years away from that being the case, and we're so grateful. We're so grateful. Gosh. It's he puts on his hard hat. He comes to work, and he doesn't complain. And he doesn't. You could just tell in post-game interviews and talking with him that he's so for the team that all his accolades and everything he's doing is second nature. It's just like he's just trying to help the team win. He's just
like he doesn't care when he breaks all these records. He's like, oh, okay.
He's like, okay, but he's just like, that's what we needed. That's what the team needed. Like, this is my job. You know, it's like, it's nothing to him, which is so cool.
And he also shot 3 from 4 from the 3-point line.
They're still leaving him open. Like,
dude, he has a lot of space every time he shoots the 3, and it looks pure.
He's confident when he shoots it.
He is a confident shooter right now. Yeah. I mean, his 3-point numbers are unbelievable this season, and it just makes our offense so much better. Seeing Sabonis be like such a versatile big is crazy. Like, we've never had a big that is able to do something like what we're seeing right now. Well, okay, we had a Chris Webber, obviously, but I'm talking about like in the modern days.
Even like the DeMarcus Cousins stuff does not pale in comparison to what Domantas Sabonis brings to a team. It just really doesn't.
Yeah, I mean, even Rashawn Holmes. We love Rashawn Holmes, but he wasn't the scorer.
No,
he wasn't the scorer. So technical foul. I said no, a lot less technical fouls. But yeah, we're so grateful for him, man, and I want to see the people that said we lost a trade. I want them to come forward, and I want them to show themselves and keep that same energy, because it doesn't look like we lost the trade. No, we got back a pretty good player who can do it all on the floor, and is arguably at a more important position as far as being our focal point on offense for bringing it up, setting up our offense, rebounding. Yeah, we're very fortunate, guys.
I think Sabonis has solidified his All-Star ballot for this year's All-Star game and All-NBA.
I hope so.
I mean, if you don't vote him in, I mean, All-NBA means more, I think. But
as long as Kevin O'Connor and Amina Hassan don't have a vote, I think we're good. I think we're good. Those are the 2 biggest Kings haters in history. I know. So as long as Kevin and Amin don't have a vote, I think Sabonis is in.
We're good. Let's go.
I voted for them for All-Star game today. It was 3x the vote, so I had to put my ballot in.
I had to do it before midnight.
So DeMar DeRozan coming off of an incredible game. He plays 40 minutes tonight. He has 24 points and 9 assists from DeRozan. And again, in the fourth quarter, you could just rely on him to get to his spots and score like he has done extremely consistency his entire career, but especially this season as well for the Kings. He has been incredible, and like you could see how deflating it is for I think Tatum. He sat on the bench for the fourth quarter for 6 minutes, and he's watching DeRozan just get to his spots and scoring, and he's like you could see how deflating it is.
I wish I could be a good mid-range shooter like DeMar DeRozan.
That's probably what he's thinking. He's like, I got to work with him in the offense.
That's a real dog.
Keegan Murray.
We can't beat the Kings.
I can't do it.
We can't do it.
Let's talk about Keegan
God.
Murray. Wow, 5 from 8 from 3, finishing with 19 points, 2 steals and 2 blocks. He was the is Ann Fung still the sponsor of the defensive player of the game?
I don't know.
There's
You know more than I do.
billboards on her.
I know.
In the arena. So.
I know. So it might be Ann Fung, but he was the Ann Fung, the deep hog of the game. 19 points, 2 blocks, 2 rebounds. 2 blocks, 2 steals, and 5 3-pointers. Malik Monk, 22 and 8. Devin Carter, 11 points, 3 for 5 from 3. Trey Lyles, 7 points with 11 rebounds.
Wow.
With 5 offensive rebounds.
Wow.
From Trey Lyles battling against huge guys with Boston.
Wow.
And then Keon and Kevin, they didn't produce too much on the offensive end, but they both end with 3 steals each.
Wow.
Unbelievable.
Wow.
That's what it's going to take for us to get these wins is just everyone contributing and their different aspects of
Because
the
we had
game.
11 steals total as a team, right? I think that was the final number. So, I mean, I think you saw from the entire game, we got to every 50-50 ball for the most part. There was one, I think, that like Jaylen Brown was able to pick up and all that stuff. Doesn't really matter, but we were able to match their physicality. We were able to match their tenacity on defense. We were able to match their offensive output. And it was just a game of where we just played better than Boston does in every single aspect that Boston is good at. Yep. We basically executed and did exactly better than them. So that's I think that was just the synopsis of like what we did tonight.
Yeah, and there's not an excuse if they were missing anybody. They had everyone healthy, held them to only 7 fast break points. Our fast break defense is the best in the league. Mark Jones was saying on the air. I don't know if he was. I'm pretty sure he was saying. I don't know if it was during this win streak, but he said we have the best fast break defense in the league. And we held the Celtics to 7 fast break points on their home court.
Insane. That's actually insane.
For a championship caliber team, that's huge. And only 12 turnovers, which we know Boston's a pesky defense with Drew Holiday and Derek White on there. So only having 12 turnovers against them is huge. Won the steal battle, like RT said, 11-5.
I think they committed 15 turnovers, correct?
They had 15. Yep, they had 15. We only had 8 points off the turnovers, but yeah, I mean, holding a championship caliber team to under 10 points in the fast break that's going to win you a lot of games.
My biggest, I think the reason why we won that game is because we grabbed 16 offensive rebounds,
and we had 54 total rebounds as a whole.
Yeah, but 16 offensive rebounds, that's 16 more possessions in a game. That's the recipe for success right there. Speaking of, you mentioned that we had 11 steals. So there's a stat that I wanted to share. So the Celtics opponents averaged 6.9 steals, which is the 3rd fewest amount of steals. And tonight, 11. So, man.
We did something right.
Defensive game. We made 18 threes tonight. We just did all the right things, and we stuck with it the entire game. Even when we were down, we cut that lead instantly. And when we were up, we didn't take the foot off the pedal. And shouts out Devin Carter for getting huge minutes during that fourth quarter. Shouts out Keon Ellis for taking the backseat and when you see someone who's the same position as you succeeding, you let him do it. Shouts out to him. Shouts out Doug for just incredible rotations this game and just an amazing win. It's 6 in a row is incredible.
And it's hard to believe we're doing this all without De'Aaron Fox, who's having a MVP caliber season, right? Scoring wise and individual
3 games.
It's pretty wild to think that we're doing this all without our best player. But we got to keep rolling as soon as he gets in. And I mean, everyone knows Fox is, he's our best player, right? He's our best scorer, so he's going to fit in pretty well, I think.
It would be pretty well timed if he comes back for the Chicago game.
Yeah.
Because it was 2 seasons ago where he hit the silencer against the Chicago Bulls. Well, let's preview that Bulls game really quick. So,
And we got the Bucks too, so we got to preview those
let's preview
two.
both. So Chicago's next, on the road, of course. Can you pull up their record, Jono?
Chicago is 18-20.
Okay, this is a very winnable game. Shouts out Lonzo Ball. I'm a big Ball in the Family, Ball Brothers fan. Shouts out Jello.
Oh.
we love
Jello.
Lonzo Ball. We
Shout
love
out
the Ball
Jello.
family. Shouts out LeVar. Shouts out Demo. Shouts out everyone.
LaMelo's like he's having a career too.
He is. You know, we love that.
And he's looking like he's like getting a lot of votes in the All-Star
Yeah, he is. He's
guard. He's the
leading.
leading vote getter for guards right now.
Dude, the Ball family's on top right now. Dude,
They're
LeVar's
up.
like, dude.
We're back.
LeVar wants to be on ESPN again so bad, but Molly had him banned. Molly had him banned.
Wait, is that why we don't see him? Is he actually
He's banned from ESPN, yeah.
That's
because of that
crazy.
comment he made on First Take to Molly.
No way.
Yeah, I forgot even what he said, but
I was
Dude,
like,
that was
you
so
can
long
switch
ago.
gears.
yeah, you can switch gears
with me,
anytime with me,
Ty.
Molly.
That is so crazy. But I just want to give a shout out to Lonzo Ball for finally making his return to the court.
I think it would be very fitting if De'Aaron also makes his return on Sunday, because we all know that De'Aaron gives Lonzo that work.
He likes playing
Yes.
against him for
Yes.
sure.
A
Since the college
rivalry,
days.
a huge rivalry for the boys.
According to ESPN Analytics, or their matchup predictor, the Bulls have a 59% chance to win.
59.
59 to our 41%. Disrespectful.
Hey,
Disrespectful.
I like being the underdog.
Kevin O'Connor's running that. KOC's running the matchup predictor.
That's actually,
I guarantee
I
it.
bet you that's gonna change before tip off, because that
Bullshit.
Dude, after we beat the Celtics,
Yes.
there's no. We're on a 6-game winning streak.
We're not family friendly. I could say bullshit.
Dude,
We're not family
hey, speaking with your
Bullshit.
chest, that's crazy, Kevin O'Connor.
Yeah, that's awful.
crazy. Who gave him the green light to publish that? That's
Ever since
insane.
Woj left, man, ESPN's in shambles.
No, but I don't want to talk too bad about Chicago, because dude, Chicago's every team's good in the NBA.
They're like the play-in mix right now. It's like that East is just so
But
clustered.
I just now realized, I can't believe it took me this long to realize, this is the homecoming game for DeMar DeRozan. He's playing
Yeah.
against his former team.
Yeah.
So there's got to be extra juice for him for that game, of course. Dude, what are your predictions for DeRozan's return? Because I feel like
I think
he's, because
20 plus is doable. I'd say
I know, I want to say 35. I'm thinking he's got a 35-point game.
I'll be comfortable. I'll be safe with my take.
Okay.
I'll say 25. Over 25.
Because he's going to shoot a lot tomorrow
He
or
will.
next game, because whenever there's some type of extra chip on your shoulder, like for example Devin Carter tonight, all the Friar Nation was in the building. His former head coach, he looked like he was playing to impress. So DeMar DeRozan, I'm expecting a big game out of him, and I bet he would love that more than anything. So
Yeah, it's going to be a shootout. Zach LaVine's been cooking too. He just had 33 against Washington, so I think DeRozan's going to try to come in, make a point in the United Center to say like, hey, you guys, LaVine's that guy, but I'm pretty good too. So
Easily,
I
yeah.
think he's going to get, if Fox isn't playing, I think he's going to get 30 minimum.
I like that.
30
maybe
minimum,
even
yeah.
35. I think it's going to be his highest scoring game this season.
I would love to see it.
Johnny prediction
Book it.
here.
Book it.
A Johnny,
Johnny, there we
prediction.
go.
Let's
There we
go.
go.
Let's
We'll hit one. I'm
go.
gonna
Do
get
you
one.
happen to know his
Let's go.
career or his season high? I don't know it off the top of my
I
head.
think it's like 35.
But
or
he's
something
had,
like that.
I think he's had a 30.
He's had
30
35. I want to
I
say
think he's had
35.
multiple 30-point games, but
I want to say 35.
Jono's looking that up. But
And then the next game we
34
play,
points.
Ooh,
34 Phoenix Suns.
That's
Yeah.
close.
So I think he's getting 35.
Season high. 35. Me and Johnny
35.
both believe 35.
I love it. I love it, boys.
So then after that, we go on to Milwaukee. So that's going to be
And that's also
very
get
tough
back
game.
from last year too.
Yes.
Especially,
Can you remind us, RT?
Well, we were up by 2, and we were competing all night last year, and we couldn't make free throws. And then on the other end, it was Dame time. Dame time hits a game-winning 3 at the buzzer. Probably the most iconic game-winning buzzer beater of last year. And we're just gonna get our revenge. We just gotta lock up Damian Lillard, and we gotta stop Giannis. That's just the key with that game, is just basically make them just clog the paint. Don't let Giannis get inside. And then Damian Lillard, they're turning their season around, like we mentioned before. I think they were 2-9 to start the season, and now they're basically a top 5, 6 seed in the East. So they're playing really good basketball at the right time. But so are we. So I just think that in terms of momentum, we should have the better advantage. And I think if we keep that momentum going for those next 2 games, I think we can get to 8, boys.
Oh my gosh,
Wow.
dude. 6 has been the longest win streak in the past 3-4 years, correct?
Yeah, correct.
So, yeah.
I would love to make some recent Kings history and continue the streak.
Also, I was looking at stat. We already shouted out DeMar DeRozan's assists, right? 9 assists.
9 assists, yeah.
Yeah, season high. Crazy.
That was a
right?
season high? Oh, yeah.
That was a season high.
Yeah,
as
dude,
I was
that
looking
was
at it
insane.
as a season high stats. That was today.
Insane. Yeah.
9 assists because he knew he's going to bring it scoring wise against Chicago. So he's like, I'm gonna pass today.
he's like,
I'm
maybe
gonna
I
pass
should-
today against Boston. Against cute little Peyton Pritchard. Little Cornette, little cutie, unserious franchise. Let me pass a little bit and then save my big dogs for United Center. Save my big dog.
Dude, let's go.
Unserious team.
You know how they say things happen in threes? So the first game was for DeRozan. He had a massive double overtime, huge win. He had what?
30 straight up?
30 in that game. This game, a cool little 24 with 9 assists against Boston, though. So it was very meaningful points for him. The third, Chicago Bulls, the homecoming game. This has to be his season high.
He loves
It
playing on
has
the
to
East
be.
Coast too. He's used to it. Obviously played in Toronto, played in Chicago, so he's an East Coast boy, even though he's born in LA. He's an East Coast hooper, so he's ready.
He's an East Coast super, and I can't wait to see what he does for Chicago.
Yep.
And then that Bucks game, that's gonna be
tough.
a tough one. But RT, you got your first prediction correct with the 5 in a row, and now we're on the road. Do you want to speak into the camera, speak to the Kang Gang Pod fans, and let them know what you have in store?
Tell us the script.
Tell us the script, because we're at 6 in a row.
Please tell us the script, RT.
Do you want to just...
You know what? Where's the camera? Is right here.
We got to give him background noise.
Camera's right here. All right. I was gonna come in here and be like, you know what? If we go 2-1 on this trip, split either Boston or the Milwaukee game, I was gonna be like, you know what? That's totally fine. But after tonight's game, we are gonna win the next 2 games. Speak it into existence. Let's freaking go.
Bulls in Milwaukee going down?
Yes, sir.
So you think we're going on an 8-game winning streak?
8-game winning streak. 8-game winning streak.
Before we come back to SAC?
And before we play a national television game
Oh,
against the Houston Rockets.
the Hello Kitty night. The Hello
Oh,
Kitty
Hello
night.
Kitty night.
Dude, you can't even imagine like the storyline, winning those next 2 games and then playing on national TV against the Houston Rockets. I mean, that is just
RT just...
RT.
I don't know if you heard RT just now, but he just told us that if we win the next 2 games versus the Bulls and the Bucks, he's going to dress up as Hello Kitty and go to the Rockets.
Yes.
Yeah, yep.
Yes.
Okay,
I think that's what he
deal?
has to
yeah,
do.
that's a deal.
That
That's
means
a
you
deal.
have to buy a ticket and you have to dress up as Hello
Yes,
Kitty.
yes,
if we win,
I will dress
we
up
win.
as Hello Kitty. Yes, you have it on. You have it on here. You have it on here. The things
it.
I do for content. This is it.
Oh my god.
If you guys want to see RT dressed up as Hello Kitty, leave a thumbs up on the video. Thank you so much for watching, boys.
Let's keep it going.
We are the 9th seed, number 9. We're the 9th seed
Let's
in
get top
the
6.
NBA.
Let's get top
No
6.
more sad intros.
We're 2 games back from the 6th seed. We're 3 games back from the 4th seed.
We're right in the thick of it.
We love you so much. Thank you so much for watching. Kang
the
Gang
video.
Pod to the moon. Kings to the moon. We back, baby.
We back. Boston sucks.